Limits Homebrew.
Coming at ya.
And we are on our fourth and final beer of the St. Bernardus series.
That's right. And today we've got the App 12. This is a big beer. This one's the 10% out of the bunch. And it's a quadruple. But as you know, in BJCP guidelines, there's no such thing as quadruple. They would call it a Belgian dark strong ale. So we're pretty excited about this one. And this one is the one that really gets the high ranks out of all of them. So it's been a while. I've had this before, but it's been a while. I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, and the only problem I have is, shouldn't the Tripel been Tripel 10 then? Because we got the 6, the 8, Tripel, and now 12. I'm telling you.
And yet it's only 8% ABV, but there you go. So anyway, let's get this one cracked open and give it a try. While Christian's pouring, I'll put this up so you can get a look. So it's got a nice one-finger head on it. It's kind of a creamy, just off-white color. And it has basically the same tones as some of the doubles that they have. You know, it's a nice brown color. You get the lightest amount of red hues, but mostly it's just the brown tones in there that I see.
There is a good bit of carbonation from the bottom. I think the thing I've noticed the most out of all the beers from this series is that this one didn't have yeast at the bottom compared to the others.
Wasn't
the last
quite as hazy.
two had a little bit more yeast and were more hazy. This one's just a dark, nice, deliciously looking beer.
One of the things to note is that this is an Abbey ale. It is not a Trappist ale. Trappist ales are more traditionally dry in taste, so they have more drying out on the palate. Whereas Abbey ales can be like a medium dry to being more full in flavor, and so they're just smooth at the end. That's one of the things that we'll be looking for. So let's get a nose on it.
This is how the monks get their funks on.
You know, and it smells very similar to the doubles, and that's not a surprise. There's a little bit stronger aroma to it, but it still has that same kind of aromas from the yeast. It has some nice sweetness on it, but very bready, I would say.
You say stronger, but I feel like the other ones were more pungent in smell and had more spice flavor.
You're right, and I say stronger meaning in the alcohol and the breadiness, and you're right, Christian, to correct me. There's less spiciness as per style there should be, so you're not going to get as much of the spiciness. Yeah, you're not going to get those strong clove aromas and so forth, and you're not really expecting so much a banana type thing. You're going to be getting more dark fruits.
Yeah. I'm just more getting a maltiness, a little bit of dark fruits in there, nothing particular to grab at, but more just a caramel maltiness to it.
You know, I feel like I get almost like a little bit of a light fig date, but it's a really light fig date, kind of more like some dried fruit aromas on it. But they're really subtle, and you almost get like a brown sugar aroma off of it as well. I even get a little bit of grape on it too. It's just slightly.
I was going to say I almost get like a faded orange citrus to it.
And I get just a hint of the spiciness, but really the sweetness comes out much more on this.
Hint of spiciness.
Yeah. But very nice. I'm kind of liking it. I'd say I'm ready to dive in. How about you?
My nose can do no more damage. We shall drink.
Very nice, very nice. You know, one of the things you have to say about the St. Bernardus beers is, in the U.S., are so flamboyant and big and boozy, and that's not really the design of what a quad should be.
This one is.
This is a good quad.
Boozier than the rest of their beers.
Yeah. It has a full flavor. Has a really nice creaminess on it.
You almost get some of that grassiness in there.
Yeah.
From the Belgian yeast.
Yeah, it's a full body, but I'd say medium carbonation. But it's a fine carbonation as it goes down. I can really feel it.
But it's not a heavy beer. It's actually a medium body to almost lighter body beer in feel on the tongue.
Well, for me, it coats my mouth. And since it coats my mouth, it gives me the perception of being a little more full-bodied. And it has some nice, as you said, it's got some really good maltiness. But I think the maltiness is really well balanced with like the candy sugars, the sweetness on it as well. And I am picking up some like some of the lighter fruits, you know. I mean, if you wanted to go with the raisin, it would be like the golden raisin, you know, and almost like maybe a pear type thing. But I feel like I get just a hint of like some, like more like a fresh fig, not like a, you know, a dark dried fig on it.
It's got this earthiness to it that is really enjoyable. It's like having a nice black tea or something like that that gives depth.
Yeah, it's the hop character in it is not, doesn't taste hoppy per se, but it comes out along with the other phenols and things. You get some nice, a little bit of spice and a little bit of pepperiness on it. It's really good. This is a 10% alcohol in the beer, but I don't really perceive it as being 10%. I perceive it being more like 8%. I think the overall perception that I get is while you get these little tastes of some dark fruits and some lighter fruits and dried fruits, and they're all there, I still think that the maltiness of the beer and the caramel and brown sugar and candy sugar type flavors are really the stronger tastes of the beer. That along with the carbonation level.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't really mention it, but yeah, the maltiness and the caramels and the candied sugar really give it a depth that's enjoyable. But with all quads, you expect that, but this one's very delicious, I would say.
All right, it's time to rate this beer for style. This is a quad. It's a Belgian dark strong ale. And the problem is well balanced, as nice as this is, the one that really sticks out in my mind
is the Rochefort 10.
Exactly,
is
it is the He knows that's my favorite one.
Exactly. And we've had that before, and we really liked it.
I think for a quad, I'm going to give it a 96. I think it's that world-class level, but for me, there are other quads that I honestly would rather drink.
You know, and I'm not going to argue with you on that one, because for me, there is some quads out there that just, with style and ranking, I'm going to put this at a 94. It is good, and you can't argue with a good beer.
I think for overall, it's a wonderful beer, but there's just so many other things that I appreciate so much more. I'm dropping all the way down to a 92 on my overall.
Well, actually, now that I've let mine warm, I'm actually in agreement with you. This is more boozy now. Personally, I think the Tripel is the best one out of the bunch.
I agree. I think that the Tripel was really fantastic.
So for this one, overall, I'm going to throw it at the 89 range. It was good. It was delicious. I liked it. But I'm not a Belgian guy.
You know, a lot of people are going to disagree with our review.
Sorry.
But, you know, that's our palate. And so here it is. This is St. Bernardus at 12, a quad. That's right, a Belgian dark strong ale. And it's a great beer. Don't be misgiving. These are still in the excellent world-class category beers. So from Clement's Homebrew, this is Kevin.
And this is Christian.
And all we've got to say is life is too short
to drink cheap beer.
And we will see you
on the next Bearded Review.
Oh yeah. Cheers.
Live it up. That's my Abbey boys. Monking it up.